Welcome to another episode of The Basics. Now, as you can already tell, I have a two-player game set up on my table. Now, even though it's just me doing these shows, I wanted to show you some early game strategy for Magic the Gathering. More specifically, what you need to do early on if your opponent somehow gets more cards out on the table and more creatures out than you. So without further ado, let's get right into this so I can show you the proper way to handle this. Okay? Now, in this fictional game, I'm using my green deck and my opponent is using a white deck. So, as it stands right now, we're several turns into the game. The opponent has 3 creatures out. 2 of them are 1/1s and 1 is a 1/2. He also has an artifact equipment out. Equipping creature gets +2/+2. So now, one of his 1/1s is now a 3/3. All you have out in your green deck is a 1/1, and you only have 3 land up to this point because your hand that you've drawn has been mainly useless. But, as we're going to see here, this hand is not completely useless. And even though he has 5 lands out and he can bring out more, I'm going to show you what you can do in this case. So in this rest of my draw hand, I have Land Leeches, which is a cost of 3 to bring out, even though it is a 2/2 creature, which might help. You're going to tap all your lands and that's it for a while. I have Naturalize, which destroys target artifact or enchantment. Now, I can use that, but the main problem here is that even if I destroy that, he still has 3 creatures to my 1. So basically, it's hard to block no matter what I do. I have another land. I have another land. So I can definitely put out a land into the mana pool, which is fine. But at the same time, that's still not going to solve my problem out on the field. I have Sol Grail, which is a cost of 3. Add one mana of the chosen color to your mana pool, and you can play it as an interrupt on his turn. But that's still a little while away. The most powerful card I have in my hand right now, and I'm not saying that as the most powerful card in the game, I'm just saying what's in my hand, and you might not guess it, is Wall of Wood. Now think about this for a second. It only costs 1 mana to cast. So I'm going to tap that land and put out Wall of Wood. Now I have 3 defense to go with my 1/1 creature, and I choose to block first with 3 defense. Well, none of his creatures have enough attack to get past Wall of Wood. Therefore, just by playing 1 card, a wall card, I have pretty much ended his attack at this point until he starts bringing out more cards that can do more things. Even if he had a couple more copies of the Volshok Morningstar artifact, you would still only have 3 attack, and I have 3 defense on my wall, so I'm still holding him at bay when you look at it that way. This is why I've always been an advocate of wall cards in deck play. Whether or not you're playing with your friends or in a tournament, wall cards are extremely useful and they can get you out of a jam, and most of them cost next to nothing to cast and play in the game. Now, I know a lot of you are instantly saying, but Jason, that's stupid. Why don't I just wait till I draw better cards in subsequent turns and get out more heavy-hitting creatures and other enchantments? Okay, so, and I've seen this go down many times over the years. People wait and wait to get something better into their hand from their draw deck, and they end up losing their creatures on the battlefield and start taking life point death repeatedly. Is it worth it? Put the wall out. Have a few copies of a wall in your deck, 3 or 4. Put them out. Sacrifice them to defend. You'll be further ahead. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. That's all for this episode. Have a great day, everybody.